Looking up and down. Left and right. Circling. Both ways. Shoulders forward. Backwards. Elbows. Nice and loose. Both ways. Ways. Circles. Hold on. Backwards. Figure eights, we're going to go in front, behind. In front, up, round the back, back up. Left arm, circling forwards. Hand back. Figure eight. Left hand pull back. Palm down. Pushing the palm forward to stretch the wrist. Turn the hand. Pull towards you. Pulling again towards you. Drop down, pull up. So this is pulling. Aaron and Bailey, James. Excellent. Other side, so pull your wrist down. Arm straight, pull in towards you, your wrist. Show these ones closer. Pulling your wrist up, straighten your arm up. Hands on your waist, just circling. Go as large as you feel comfortable, both ways. Arms out in front, hips forward, just rotating. Let's take our right leg, drawing circles with our knee. Both ways. Other side. Ankle, right ankle, just circle in. Both ways. Other leg. Both ways. Shake your arms and legs out. Excellent. Great, so welcome to the 5th live stream. So we're going to have a little quick review of what we're going to do today, and then we will begin. I'm going to answer some of the questions I've had about the stream so far as well. So, just to begin, I want to show you guys quickly how to find the playlist for these live sessions, because I've been asked, some people don't get to do it live because they have lessons on or other stuff, so they're asking the sessions are still on the YouTube channel, and they go up, normally even the session today goes up about half an hour after onto my channel. So just to do that, all you do is search Lucca D, click on the top one, and the sessions are here anyway actually on my latest videos, but you can go onto the channel and that one's there now because it's live, but it'll come up under uploads. But if you just go down a little bit, I've created a playlist here, the first playlist, which is live sessions. If you click on that, all the playlists from the first one will load. And also, once you go on the video, we're doing some practicing some dancing there. Once you go on the video, if you go onto the description here and click show more, there's a bunch of stuff that I've added in because people are asking about where to find some of the other videos and some of the articles I've done on what we're training, meditation, etc. You can just click on the links here, and also all the music I'm using in the warm-ups I'm putting in the description, so you can check it out, and you can just, I'm putting the links there, you can just jump straight to the music if you want to find any of that. With that being said, the other way of getting onto the plan of what we're doing today, in case you want to review it, you just go onto my website, which is www.luccad.com. And you'll see once you go on there, the first thing will be this little box here, which says live training session. If you click on that and scroll down a little bit, you'll see two buttons, YouTube and how it works. If you click, and a YouTube button at the bottom. If you click on either of them YouTube buttons, it'll take you to whatever stream will be coming up. So you can just click on that. I'll show you quickly. And it's going to show this stream, weirdly enough. There you go. And it's playing back. So also we've got to get on the review is how it works. So this button here, sorry. How it works, if you click on that, you will then see our community guidelines, which are important, that you've read that before and you know how it works, how these streams are working. I'm quickly going to go through them quickly again actually. I went through them on the first session, but there'll be new people joining today, so if you're starting from here, I'm quickly going to go over them. And then all the sessions we've done so far, so the first session, second, third, with a description of what we did. So in case you want to check what you did if you can't remember something, leading up to session 5. So, I'm quickly going to go over, hey Charlotte and Leon, I'm quickly going to go over these community guidelines again quickly, just in case people don't know them. So the first one, martial arts is used in a self-defense situation, and that means that we're only using what we're learning for a situation in where we're actually in danger. Everything we're learning is just for self-defense, so it needs to be trained responsibly and with control, and only be used if you're actually facing an imminent threat or actual danger. So we'll be training some new strikes today, and therefore self-defense. Prepare for before we begin training. So make sure that before we begin training, you already cleared the space and you're ready for training. You've got the right clothing, you've got a drink present in case you're going to need it, and everything like that. Make sure you're prepped before. Train safely into your level. Again, about the environment, make sure everything's clear because we are training in our homes and you need to make sure you have enough space. Also, if you're training with people, make sure you're not too close to them so you don't end up hitting anyone. And train to your level, just make sure that everything you're doing you are comfortable with and don't have to overexert yourself, but make sure you're training within your capabilities and you understand everything. If you're not sure, drop in the live chat, pop a question. No abusive comments in this chat. In my community, the way I'm doing it is that if you're not interested in what we're doing, then there's plenty of other channels for you to go and check out. But if you want to learn martial arts, you're welcome here. But make sure you're being respectful to the channel and also the other members in the group. If there are any abusive comments to any of the other members in the group, then you will be blocked and reported. I'm not having that sort of stuff in this stream or on this channel. Step-by-step instruction from beginning onwards. This is important because we've been building on our fundamentals that we did in the first stream, so we're building along as we go along. So you're welcome to join today and go straight from here, but I would recommend, if you do want to follow along, go back, go through them other streams, because we're building on what we did and I won't be explaining again so much what we've already learned. I'm going to be moving on, so you will be expected to know some certain things like open and closing stance and how to get in our stances. I will cover it very briefly though, if you just, there will be new people doing it from this session, so I will cover it. Warm-up sets and working sets and prior stretches. Any specific stretches you would like to do for yourself, do them now while I'm talking, or do them before 5 minutes before we begin. I do a little stretch, normally start a little bit earlier and do some stretching, and then a little bit of cardio with our warm-up, which we will be doing in a second. And just keep everything relevant in the chat. So make sure the questions are to do with what we're training, but please feel free to pop any questions or any feedback in there. So let's go to our 5th session. We've got our little warm-up. Since it's 2020, we've been working on our 1920s Charleston, and it's also good for our cardio, but as well as our balance and footwork training. So we're also using it to help us with that and our coordination. Then we've got a short meditation. We've been working on our meditation and I'll explain a bit more about it as we're doing it. We're going to do a quick recap training session of what we did last session. So we always do a quick little recap of what we did. So we just do it into a training session just to make sure that we remember what we did last session. And then we're moving on to our new techniques for today. Our eye strikes. So for the first time in this stream, we're going to be looking at eye strikes. And these are something that are a massive part of Wing Chun. Most of the techniques actually evolve this, especially later on you'll notice. But these are the kind of strikes that need to be done with control. We don't do these with a partner just in case you injure someone else's eye. But they're not to poke someone's eye out. It's not that. It's to, as this is self-defense art, as soon as there's sort of these sort of motions, as soon as you touch someone's eye like this, their natural reaction is to look away or cover their eyes, and that could give you an opportunity to escape if you need to, or set up another strike. But that's how we use them in Wing Chun. We're not poking eyes out, we're actually using them as a quick move like this, just to come out and give us a chance to us to escape, because it's anyone's natural reaction is to protect their eyes. No matter how big someone is, if you strike their eyes, they will either look away or they will try and protect that. So that's one of our fundamental basic self-defense techniques. We're then going to look at our basic pivot, which we haven't looked at yet. We're going to do that after with some shapes, with our arms as well, incorporating our arms in. And then we're going to go back to our diagonal step we covered last lesson, but adding in some shapes. And we've got a little bit of exercise at the end. So, what we're going to do is begin with what we were working on last time. And we're going to do a quick little recap and then maybe add in some spins if we're feeling confident. So, just for our warm up, our cardio, get our cardio going, get our bodies moving. We're going to start off with our footwork that we've been doing, our touch and step. It's going to look like this. We touch with our foot without putting our weight down. We just touch, step, step. Arms are nice and loose. We're going to step back with our left foot first. So we're going to go touch, step. So let's give it a go. Hopefully you guys remember. If you're new, it doesn't matter, but this is going to be our basic step to warm up. It's touch and step, touch and step, touch and step, touch and step. I'll count you in, let's give it a go, and then we'll warm up with some music. 5, 6, 7, 8. Touch and step, touch and step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step. If you're fine with this, start moving around. Start moving around, turning as you're stepping. Both directions. You can keep it as minimal as you want, you don't need loads of space. Arms loose so they're swinging. So that is our basic step that we've been working on. So if it's your first time, you can just stick with that, even as we're moving on with this other stuff while we're moving. Let's add in. Let's quickly review the other steps, but let's just warm up quickly. I'll put some music on, and we will just doing that. Let's just move around the room. Keep it quite minimal, arms loose, stay moving. Let's do it. I'll count you in. So loosen your arms, bend your knees a little bit. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Touch and step, touch and step. Go in both directions. Remember not to put your weight all the way down when you do it. but just touch, step. So keep your weight over your center. Arms loose. Okay, we're going to add in and relax. Let's add in the other moves that we've been working on. So we're going to do this first. Our touches that we did last time. So we're always going to come back to this basic step. We're going to add in touch, 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 step. Back to basic. So we do one basic, then we do touch, 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 step. One basic, then we go touch, 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 step. So we do one basic in between each time. So let's start off with a basic, then 3 touches, and then back into our step and touch again. Let's give it a go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Touch, step, touch, step, touch, 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 step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, 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 step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, 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 step. Keep it going. Touch, 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 step. So them 3 steps, you can do them at any time with your basic step. You can add them in. You can add them in at any time. We're going to do forward as well. So we're going to do a basic, touch, step, touch, step. On the second one, when we step forward, we're going to go touch, 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 step. And go back to our basic. Let's give it a go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Step back, forward, back, touch, 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 step. Touch, 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 step. Touch, 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 step. So you can add in them 3 touches at any point when you're moving around. And you just come back to your basic every time. We had that, so you can try that now. And we also had our side taps, which were tapping, putting our weight onto one leg, and tap, 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 change, tap, 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 change. And then we're going to go back into our step. So it looked like this. Touch, step, tap, tap, tap. So that when we're doing these taps, we change over our weight after, and then we're going to step behind. Touch, step, touch, step. So to do these taps, just make sure you bring your weight over. Stay nice and loose. If you want to add in the swivel, you can. But we're going to do the swivels in a second. I just want to go over the taps quickly. So bring your weight onto your right leg. And with me, just go tap. We don't put our weight down, we just touch. Tap, tap, change your weight. Other side, tap, 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 step behind, touch, step, touch, step. Let's give it a go. We're going to do it like this. Touch, step, tap, tap, tap. With me, 5, 6, 7, 8. Touch, step, touch, step, tap, 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 change your weight. Tap, 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 step behind. Touch, step, tap, tap, tap. Other side, tap, 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 step behind. One more time. Tap, 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 change your weight. Tap, 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 step behind. We've got our 2 different taps. One other thing that we did was the swivel. So it's just like in our basic stance. When we open up, this last motion on the balls of our feet, heels in, heels out. Do some with me. Let's give it a go. So just come to your open stance position. As long as your heels are facing out, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, all we do is every time we step, we push our heels in. Every time we step, we push our heels forward to open our hips. When we lift our foot up, we close. Open, close, open, close. Open, close, open, close. So if that's too difficult, you can just do the touch and step. But if you feel confident, you can start adding in this swivel. If you've been practicing for a couple of days now, you might have this by now. And whenever you want, touch, 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 step. Touch, 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 step. And you can add the tap, side taps in, and then back. So, let's give it a go with some music. You can add in the swivel, the side taps, anything you want. Let's give it a go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whenever you want now, just add in tap, tap, tap. You do the front or back leg. Tap, tap, tap. And then your swivel if you like. You do the side taps. That's what we're going to be doing in a second. Tap. Excellent. Alright, final thing. We're going to add in our turns. So to get our turns, I'll just show you. We'll start off by turning from our front step. It'll look like this. Step, touch. When we touch now, we don't want to lean onto our leg, but we put our weight down so we can push off it. We're going to go to our left shoulder, push off, come back round, and then touch and step again. I'll do it from behind. So we go touch, step, put our foot down, turn to our left. When we push off, we bring our leg in to spin, keep it tight in, and then we step our leg back behind. So I look like this, touch, step, touch, push. Back into our touch after. Touch, step, bring our leg in, and then touch behind. So we're going back into our basic step every time, pushing off. Depending on how hard you push, you spin quicker. But don't step too far out because it'll take too long to get back. Just place it out, push off, and then step behind again. Let's do a basic, and then a push off, back to a basic. Let's give it a go. 5, 6, 7, 8, touch, step, touch, step. We're going to push off, back to our basic. Let's push off again, and then back to our touch, step, touch, step. Push off, touch, step. You don't have to spin quick. Push off, and then behind. Push off, and then behind. So that's going off, pushing off the front leg. We can also push off the back leg. It's going to look like this. We do a basic first. When we push off the back leg, we're going to still turn to our left to bring our foot in and to bring our right leg in front. So we're going to turn to our left still, look like this. Touch, push off it. Just make sure you bring your foot close in after to your other leg so you can spin. But we're still turning to our left. And then we step our right leg in front. I'll show you one more time. Touch, step, touch, step, touch to our left, step your right leg out in front. Just to touch again. Let's do a basic and then give that a go. 5, 6, 7, 8, touch, step, push off, touch, step, push off, touch, step. Good. One last time. Push off, touch, step. Let's do one more. Push off, touch, step. So just remember on either of them, the front one, bring your leg in. The back one, bring your leg in. It's really important you bring your leg in and it helps you stay balanced. Let's give a go to music. Let's just see how you feel with your balance, but try all them moves or just focus on the spin to start off, and when you feel comfortable, try anything out we've done. I'll count you in. 5, 6, 7, 8, touch, step. Give you much time. Love it. If you lose it, just find it again. Doesn't matter. Try the spins. Touch. Well done. You know what? Really well done. If you guys can do all that stuff, even if it's not perfect, but you can do it, then really impressed, because it's hard to do all them together. And we've learnt quite a bit in the time that we've been doing. So let's move on to our standing meditation. Remember, when we're doing our meditation, we want to relax our body off. In our standing one, we want to focus on maintaining our posture and maintaining our balance when we're doing it. But really focus on just your breathing. If you start getting distracted thinking about other things, always come back to your breathing. Your breathing is going to be your reference point. So make sure you're coming back to it if you start thinking about other stuff. Breathing in through your nose. We're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Really relaxed. You shouldn't be over breathing because you don't want to build up tension. You're trying to release it. So nice steady breathing. I'll just set our position, then we're going to go into it. So with our standing meditation that we're practicing, we're standing shoulder width. So you can just jump up, open your feet a bit wider, toes straight, knees slightly bent. We don't want to be hips back or hips forward. We want to be straight and pull our head up. So we're pulling our head to the ceiling, chin tucked in, shoulders down. We're going to bring our arms out slightly, like we've got a ball here, underneath our elbows. We're going to close our eyes to help us focus in. And we're just going to do this for a minute or two, relaxing our body, focus on relaxing any tension you feel in your body down to the ground. So let's give it a go. Find your position. I'm going to set some music. Close your eyes and just begin. Close your eyes, begin breathing in and out, nice and relaxed, sinking your weight to the ground. Open your eyes. Move your feet together. I wanted to try meditating to Conan the Barbarian soundtrack. So, I had to give it a go. Quite enjoyed the actual. That's a really good soundtrack, so if you wanna check that out, if you check out the Conan the Barbarian OST, it's really good. And if you haven't seen that movie, you need to see that at some point. Okay, let's go into what we did the other day, our diagonal elbows, our double stomp kick, triangle step in, and our diagonal step. So let's go straight into it. Grab a drink if you need to. So let's open up our stance. So feet together, hands by your side. Bring your hands forward, pull back, bend your knees, toes out, heels out, making a triangle at the tip. We're going to start off with our diagonal upwards elbow, 2 elbows to the count. Let's do a warm-up set to get positioning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go 50 to 70% power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good work. We're going to go to our downwards diagonal. So remember, this is like when you're swimming. So you're going to bring your elbow over and cut downwards diagonal, then swing and then bring your arm back. So we're going in one motion, elbow and then back. So it's like a double elbow because you're also practicing a backwards elbow in the same motion. So we're going to do both hands again. Warm up set. It's going to look like this. Coming down, bringing our arms back each time. Start off with your right hand. Let's give it a go. Warm up set. 1. Get positioning in the warm up set. 2, 3. Loose hands and then close again. 4. Hand opens, nice and relaxed, and then close it when you bring it back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's put some energy in, 50 to 70%. 1, 2, add in your breathing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So there are 2 diagonal elbows that we covered last time. Let's go into our double stomp kick. So we're going to bring our left arm and left leg forward. So from your basic stance, left arm, left leg forward. Make sure you're lining up your toe to your back heel. Not too linear, not too wide, but try and line up that front toe to the back heel. Feet on the diagonal, so your front leg's closed. From here, we first practiced our rear stamp kick. Then we did our double, which was 1, 2. So we change our wu sao to our bong sao with our second kick. First kick, toes pointed out. Second, in. Let's give it a go. We won't break it down this time. We just go through the motion. Both kicks to 1 count and back again. Nice and controlled on the way back down. So once we bring it down, control. Don't just drop it. Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change, foot comes back, right arm and leg out together. Make sure your knees are bent, you're sitting in your stance. Guard up high. Remember the knee comes forward, so we have to open our hip. Don't go against your hip, but open the hip to bring your knee through. Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pull your hands back. We're going to go into our steps that we done last time. So we got a triangle step in step, where we step to the leg in, then to the tip of the triangle, arrow walk forward, and we step back and circle our leg back to basic stance. Again, I'll show you your left leg if would come all the way in. Launch step to the tip of the triangle, and we step back and circle our leg back again. I'll show you from the behind as well. We're going to go left leg in, step to the tip of the triangle, step our right leg back, circle back to our basic stance. Then we'll go right leg in, tip of the triangle, back to the center. Let's give it a go together. We'll alternate sides each time. Start with your left leg coming in. 1, pause here, and back. Step your right leg back and circle back in. Let's go to the other side now. 2, back. 3, back. 4, back. 5, back. 6, back. 7, back. 8, back. 9, back. 10, back. Excellent. Bring your left foot to your right, push down. Do let me know as well if you're struggling with any of the steps. These can be quite difficult, especially if it's your first time, so do let me know if you're struggling with anything. We're going to move on to the last step we practiced yesterday, the diagonal step. So I'll show you from behind as well. If we're in our basic stance, we're going to step back on the diagonal. So our left foot ends up behind, feet pointed in. Then we step back again in to our basic stance. So we're going 1 and then back. Other diagonal, 2, back, top, diagonal, 3, back, 4, back. Just remember, when you're practicing the diagonal step, you need to do small steps. You're cutting the angle off the center, still facing through if there was someone in front of you. And make sure your hips and feet are facing through that person on both the diagonal steps backwards, so your feet end up facing through. When we step forwards, your feet are going to end up pointed off on the angle towards, if you imagine you're in a square, pointing to the tips of the square. Let's give it a go together. We'll do 1 and back. We'll go left back, left top, right top. So open up your stance and imagine you're inside the square. We're going to go to our back left first. 1, back, back right, 2, feet pointed in, back, top left, 3, back, 4, top right, back, 1, back, 2, back, 3, back, 4, back. One last time, face you this time. 1, back, 2, back, 3, back, 4, back. Excellent. Left foot to right and push down. And grab a drink. So that's our recap of what we did yesterday. So I wasn't going to go into too much detail because we did that in yesterday's lesson. Now we're going to add in our new stuff. We've got our eye strikes, vertical and horizontal, basic pivot with our guards, our diagonal step as well. So let's begin with our eye strikes. So when we're doing these eye strikes, our wrist motion is super important. So that's why we develop this power. It's also important for our other strikes, our palms, our punches. So from these wrist strikes, you can learn how to generate a lot of power in your strikes. So the vertical one is going to be coming downwards, power going down and up. The horizontal one is going to be coming across like this. We're going to practice this from our funnel guard. It's going to look like this. Open up your stance with me, we'll go straight into it. We bring our funnel guard forward and we're going to come down and up with our wrists in this position. So let's give it a go. Let's do a warm-up set. Think of, for now, isolating your wrists. So it's just this motion. Later on, when you're adding in more power and speed, you'll be using your elbow as well. Like this. But for now, we're going to just isolate just the wrist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn to horizontal. So turn your hands all the way, but don't lift up your elbows. Still keep them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn back to vertical. Let's go 50 to 70% power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back to vertical, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back to horizontal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, pull your hands back a second. And you can relax your arms a second. I'm just going to open the door and see. I think there's a bit of echo. So I'm going to open the door to see if it gets any better, gets rid of it. But we're going to take that drill now and we're going to move on. You never know. So we're now going to imagine we have an arc in front of us. And this arc is, our hands could come out. Ideally we want to keep our hands within our shoulders. But we do need to be prepared to have to move our arms out into any of this space here. So this is our arc, our zone that we have to learn to also cover all the way up to. In Wing Chun we have these motions where we're covering this whole space, the whole of our front of our bodies. So if we cut our body half in half, front and back, we need to be able to cover this whole space. But fundamentally our structure is strongest when we're within our shoulder width. And a lot of the time we're covering in here and striking. But there will be times where you have to, maybe you've caught something late and you have to react by bringing your arm up to the side of your body. Anything beyond that, ideally you want to turn and face, because it's obviously difficult. But there are some moves in Wing Chun that we do out all the way around our whole body, in the whole of our movement sphere. But we're going to focus on this arc in front of us. We're going to take our eye strikes, our vertical eye strikes, and we're going to come forward, diagonal, and to the side. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then come back to your funnel guard. Let's give it a go. 1, say 50 to 70%, diagonal now. 2, now to the sides. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's change our hands now to horizontal, forwards again, diagonal to the side. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Last set. 1, 2, 3. Good work. Pull your hands back. You can close your stance and relax a second. So we've got our vertical, horizontal. We've got using just our wrist to train our wrist power. We've got adding in power and energy after, where we incorporate our elbow as well, coming forward together with this motion like this. Then we've got our arc. So we've got in front of us, diagonal, and to the sides. So we're covering this whole space. So there are basic vertical and horizontal eye strikes. We're now going to move on to our basic pivoting in Wing Chun. And when we discussed in the first session our basic stance, the strengths and advantages, one of the weaknesses of the stance when I'm standing square is if force comes directly into me, I've got no base of support behind me. So there isn't a leg behind me like in this stance. So if force came in now, I could take it down to this leg. But when I'm square on, there's a blind spot there, a dead zone. If someone pushes me into that, it's hard to maintain your balance while standing square on. So if you imagine a tripod without having that third leg behind, that's what this basic stance basically is. So we need to be aware of that weakness. And in Wing Chun, that's why we have our basic pivoting our body off. So if force is coming in, we can pivot that force off and let it go. And also by pivoting, we turn our stance into our leg. So if force continues to come in, we can ground it into the leg. So that's why we have this basic pivot, and we're going to just practice that now from our basic stance. When you're practicing this pivot, you want to keep maximum connection to the floor with your feet. So try not to actually lift up your toes or your heel. Try and keep your weight flat all the way to the ground, and just pivot slightly by lifting the ball of your foot up. But it's very slight motion. You don't need to lift up onto your heel because then your weight's too far backwards. Just lift up as much as you need to open up your foot, and you open it up by opening up your hip. So focus on opening your hip, not twisting on your feet. If you focus on opening your hip, your pivot are keeping really good connection to the ground. So we're going to do it from our basic stance. We're going to pivot right leg first. It goes to the same angle as your other foot. So as our hips are closed in our basic stance like this, our toes will be pointed in because our hips are closed slightly. Then we open up to the same angle as our other foot, and then we close again. So we're going to go 1, 2, like this. So let's open up your basic stance. Knees bent, toes, heels. Now, when we do this first pivot, let's start with our right foot. We're going to open up the hip, focusing on opening up the hip, and then close. So we're going to go 1 and back. Let's give it a go. 1, back. 2, back. 3, back. 4, back. 5, back. 6, back. 7, back. 8, back. 9, back. 10, back. Other side, left foot, open the hip. 1, back. 2, back. 3, back. 4, back. 5, back. 6, back. 7, back. 8, back. 9, back. 10, back. Stay in that position. We're now going to pivot both our feet together. So we just did one at a time, but now when we go to the other side, we're going to pivot them both together. It looks like this. If we pivot just on our right first, and then we're going to pivot both our feet together. So when you're doing this, just remember to open up the hip first. You don't want to over exaggerate it. You don't want to take too long, but you want to open and close the other hip. Open and close. Then there shouldn't be much difference in the timing after, but make sure you are opening the other hip first and then close the other one behind it. So what I mean by that is open and then close. Open, close, open, close. Let's give it a go together. So open up, or if you're still in your basic stance, open up your right hip. Now we're going to pivot together to the count. 1, 2, 3. I'll move forward a bit. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay in that position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Couple more. 1, 2, 3. Head to sky. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. We're now going to add in 2 hand shapes. We're going to add in Gan Sao, which is covering the lower space. So it could be covering anything in the lower space. Just make sure when we do this, it's coming at a diagonal, just the same as when we do our cross guard, forward. So it'll look like this. We're going to do it with a vertical punch. There'll be a slight angle on it to match the chin. So it'll look like this. We'll go 1. Then we're going to change over. We replace our hands. Hand comes down, cuts down, punch through. Cut down, punch through. Cut down, punch through. So we're going to start off in our basic stance. So open up your basic stance. And your first one, you're going to rotate your right foot, left hand guan sao, right hand guan sao, left hand punch. The guan sao, we're covering the space, the lower space, you're using this part of your arm here. So don't straighten it out, keep a slight bend still, but cover all the way out to the edge of your hip. So we're in here, we're covering this whole side out. Bend in the arm, little bend. So let's give it a go. Starting with your right hand. I'll do a couple facing this way, then I turn around. Right foot's going to turn. Left punch. Right guan sao. And then we change. Left hand. Let's do a couple, then I'll turn around. 1. Make sure you've got right hand guan sao, left hand punch. Now we're going to change. 2. I'll show you a bit more about the change in a second. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Now we are punching and defending simultaneously together, and we're also adding in a pivot. But when you do this, this fist needs to come down, covering the space. Inside half circle like this. And as that comes down, your punch comes through together. So from this position, you cover the space, going over the center. Same as this. Covers the space, but at the same time this is going to come through. So you're defending and striking together. Try not to go 1 and then 2, but go together. So we're going from here. Let's give it a go. Lift up your right hand, right fist, left guan sao. Just focus on that now while we're doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Couple more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So really think about covering that space. Put your hands back. We're now going to do dip sao with our punch as well, a vertical punch. It looks like this. This time when we open, the arm's going to come with the leg, punch, palm facing down, hands, fingers pointing out slightly. Think about using this part. You're thinking about using this part of your arm with dip sao. So again, we want to clear to the edge of our shoulders when we're doing this. So clear to the edge of your shoulders, fingers on the dip sao point out slightly, using this part of the arm. Elbow not up, elbow down. So when we're doing it, the elbow stays down. Watch again, I'll show you. The hip's going to open. As it opens, you're creating rotational force. This arm's going to shoot out, dip, at the same time, punch. Now any force that this absorbs, this is generally for a circular strike coming in, any force that this absorbs, you take into your other side, your left leg. So you'll be going from one side all the way down into your left leg. So you have to keep your knees bent so you can ground it at the same time striking. I'll face that way first. We're going to open up our right foot, right arm dips out, left arm punch. Just do that position quickly. Right hip opens, right dips out, left punch. That's what we're going to start with. I'll face this way first. So open up your stance. We're going to go 1, right hand dips out, right foot turns, left hand punch. Now we're going to change. 2, left hand dips out, hip opens, right hand punch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this movement's really minimal. We're literally going from here, hold that position a second, to here. So there's no need to move the arms around a lot in this. This one's just switching from here to here. So keep it really tight. Let's do a couple more, focus on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good work. Pull back, left foot to right, and push down. We're going to move on to our final technique of the day. Grab a drink. So now we're going to incorporate them two shapes. Gansao covering the lower space and Dipsao covering circular strikes coming in into our diagonal step. So I'll just show you. So, if you open up your stance, we had our diagonal step, cutting off the center line. So if a linear strike comes in, we're cutting off, still facing through the opponent though, so our structure's going through. We also had going forward with our diagonal step, shutting it down. So if there was a circular strike coming, we're stepping towards it, shut it down, bring it to our leg, our right leg in this case. We're adding in strikes as well. We're going to add in these shapes. So on the backwards diagonal, we're going to do our Gansao. It's going to look like this. So if we step back with our left leg, we're covering with our right Gansao, left punch. And the step back, other side. Step back. When we go forward, we're going to do our Dipsao. Whatever leg we step forward with, same arm Dipsao. Step back, returning to basic every time. Returning to basic every time. I'll face the other way first. Go into our back left first. We'll do 1, get position, and then back. Let's give it a go. We're going to go back left first. So your left hand's going to be a punch, right hand will be Gansao. 1. So you should all be in this position. With right hand Gansao, left hand punch, bend your knees, step back and pull your hands back, back. Going to the right. 2, left hand Gansao, right hand fist, back. Now we're going to go to the top. Left hand Dipsao, right hand punch. 3, back. Now we're going top right, right hand Dipsao, left hand punch. 4, again. 1, right hand gansao, left hand punch, back, back right. 2, left hand gansao, right hand punch, back, top left, left hand dip sao. 3, back, 4, back. I'm going to turn around. We're going back left, right hand gansao, left hand punch. 1, back, back right, left hand gansao. 2, back, top left, left hand dip sao. 3, back, 4, back. Let's go again a bit quicker now. 1, back, 2, back, 3, back, 4, back, 1, back, 2, back, 3, back, 4, back. Last time. 1, back, 2, back, 3, back, 4, back. Excellent. Repeat together and push down. Well done, team. Now, that diagonal step, even without the arms, you need to make sure that you're really comfortable with that step, because in Wing Chun we use it a lot and it's super important for cutting angles, coming off angles, and stops you getting hit. So your footwork's so important. It's key to being able to control distance, get out of the way of strikes, and also step in, close the distance quickly. So the footwork's super important. So make sure you do have them steps and don't rush it, but make sure you're really clear on your structure as you're doing it. So if you need to go back and look at last session, the basic diagonal step, also you can go over this one again, you can go over this video, it'll be uploaded over onto YouTube after, so you can do that. So make sure you have got them. Any questions, as always, make sure you let me know about any of the footwork. So we're going to finish off a little bit of exercise. We're going to do our crawl outs, which are really fun. I like them. And leg raises. We're going to up it today. Nice and controlled, but we're going to aim for 20 reps. So just copy me. I'm going to put some music on. If you can't hear me very loud, it doesn't matter. Just copy. So let's start off with our crawl outs I'll show you. So we're going to bring our hands down. We're going to come forward, so push up, and then we're going to go back. Come back to standing. Let's go. 1. Come back up. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Halfway. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. Last one, 20. We're going to go into our leg raises. Hands underneath to support your lower back, underneath your bottom. Legs straight. Come to vertical. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's go into frog kicks. One of my favourites. Hands to support. We're going to bring our knees in and we're going to kick out and in again. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Excellent. Let's go into I think I had some new moves planned. Here you go, you get a little break. Ah yes. Mountain climbers. Okay. Just before that though, we'll do some crunches. Only 20. So you got knees in, normal version. Remember with the crunches, we're just focusing on squeezing. Squeeze here, your abdominals. It's really important you focus on that squeeze. Or we've got our legs up, which I'm going to do. Let's go. Squeeze this, squeeze your abs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, from there, we haven't done this one before. We're going to bring like a push-up position, but we're going to bring our knees in. And we're going to bring our knees all the way to the top. So your knee needs to come high as you can. It doesn't touch the floor when you bring it up, you just tuck your knee in. It's kind of similar to doing a knee in the air. Let's go. Get your position. Make sure you're comfortable. Legs straight like a push-up. Go. Okay, from there we're going to switch. Stay up. Don't drop your knees down. We're going to go into Chinese, which means we're going to rotate Our knee out. So you're going to rotate your knee all the way through, like this. Get ready, go. Turn your hips. And pause. From there, we're going to do our final one, which is hopping. Looks like this. Hop to the side, hop back, hop to the side, hop back. Your hands stay on the floor the whole time. Let's go, get ready. Alternate sides, go. Hop, back. Hop as high as you can. To your hands. 3 more. And come to standing. Left hand whistle. Pay respects. Stand shoulder width. We're going to breathe in through our nose. Bring our hands together. Rotate, touch the sky. Breathe out as they come down. Breathe in. And out. Don't rush your breathe in, breathe deep. Breathe in. And out. And in. And out. In. And out. Last one. Breathe in. And out. Good work. Shake your body off, grab a drink. Alright, that's the end of today's session. It turned into quite a long one. But, well done everyone. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Make sure you are up to date with everything that we've been working on. Let me close this. Make sure you're up to date with everything. I showed all the links how to access them at the beginning, so you can do that. And other than that, stay safe, stay active, make sure you stay moving. Even if you're inside all day, spend some of the day moving, eating healthy as well. Be aware of what you're eating, eat as healthy as possible, and enjoy your time with your family, and make sure that you're staying in contact with your grandparents and your cousins and everyone and your close friends. Make sure you stay in contact with them. Now everyone's at home, we can chat to them, Skype and voicemail and just call and messages, so keep that going. Well done. Just to finish actually, a little bit of Charleston if you want to give it a go. Just to finish up, let's give it, if you want to give it a go. Excellent, well done team.